Hey guys, welcome back to AFK Journey. In today's video, I wanted to show you the arena team that I have been using with Tasi and having an absolute blast with. Now, this is not saying Tasi is the most OP unit in PvP and stuff like that. I still don't see her dominating the whale ranks and stuff like that. But if you did pull her and you're looking for a way to really abuse what she does, then this team is going to be a lot of fun for you. Once again, I'm over here on the test server on a free-to-play account, so my options are limited and the competition doesn't have all maxed out Celestial Hypergenes and stuff like that. But I waited until we got here into the new week where I promoted into the top leagues, so at least I could get into the top 100. Now, I started down the bottom, so I did a push of 10 battles today to get as high as I could. I want to show you guys some replays and the team that I've been using because it's an absolutely abuse of what Tasi can do. Because the big problem with Tasi in Arena is the fact that she takes so long to get an ult. But we have the amazing Arena map at the moment where she can get an instant ult. Now, I would love to test this. I've got Arden in the other energy boosted zone. So these zones, if you don't know, they fill up the energy of the unit on them. Now, obviously, your opponent gets them, but the great thing about this is I just run it with Iron, so that if the enemy has a Lily May, they're going to interrupt Iron, so we're pretty safe from that. So Tasi's always going to get her ult off. Now, instead of Arden, I would love to try this with a built-up Taylene, because then you just instantly have the whole enemy team controlled, and Taylene just churning out the damage and healing. But as you can see, the team we are using is a complete YOLO team, where we're just trying to burst out the damage, sleep the enemy team, root the enemy team, and then completely destroy them. And you'll see it actually worked pretty well for me. Now, the Euron is purely there to stop Lily Mays interrupting my Tasi or Arden, and that's pretty much it. You can see here, when we look at this, I've got the Enlightening spell. Otherwise, I will sometimes use Confining spell, but either way, it's pretty solid, and that is pretty much it. You just get Tasi to ult straight away, and she absolutely slaps. So let's bounce out here, and the easiest way to do it is, I can't show you guys because I've done all my attacks, but when you go into battle, and some people don't know this, that when you go into the battle thing and it gives you your 3 opponents to select, if you don't click the actual battle symbol and you just click their portrait, it'll tell you what map they're on, and you're just looking for Arena V for 5 with special on the end, and that's when you know they have it. So that's all I did in my offenses here. You can see I did lose 1 battle. I'll show you guys why that is, but I just went in, slapped out my 10 battles and got a bunch of wins. But I want to show you guys these ones because it was a ton of fun. And as you can see, this first one here is Tasi doing really good damage, Arden doing really good damage, and out damaging Lily May because they both get their ultimate at the start. Now, the one thing I do like about running the Arden on the other energy spot, like I said, ideally I'd love to do it with Taylene, but the Arden one is that Tasi kind of gets her instant ultimate, which gets them slept straight away, and then Arden's chains, so you can see here, and because Arden takes a second to shoot out all those roots, it gives you longer sustained control. But as you can see, you essentially just slap them. Because Tasi's biggest problem, once again, is how slow she is at obtaining her ultimate. But when you can do that, you actually churn through it pretty quick. But I'll show you a bunch of replays, get a look at some damage. You see this one, Tasi actually out damaging. Let's go to the replay again. And once again, same thing. We get our interrupt, and the other thing is Lily May, if they don't run an Iron, we just get free interrupts on one of their boosted units, and then it's just GG's from there on in. Now, this one took a little bit longer because they did have the Freesto, who is just naturally a bit chunky, but there you go. That is that one, easy slapped through. As we move on to the next one, let's take a look at this one. Lily May actually churning out a ton of damage in this one. Let's check this one. Yeah, some of the Viperion ones were interesting. So once again, this one did have a lot of pressure, and the Viperion we can't control at the very start. So he does actually do a fair bit of work, but we end up getting through it and churning through them anyway. We did actually fight a DNL and a Scarlita one as well, which I'll show you guys shortly. So that is that one. Let's bump into the next one. I think we were up to this one. Yes, this one is was this the one we just did? Let's check, dude. I'm already lost. No, this was not the one. So this was the Scarlita one. Now, the Scarlita was only Mythic Plus. Keep that in mind. But it was still an interesting one to take a look at what we could potentially do here. And once again, that Scarlita is coming down when it's getting pretty hectic, and we just managed to go ahead and just out-pressure the enemy team. Once again, we are running 0 healing on this team. It's just full YOLO. Let's go do the damage. Let's control them, and let's get it done. As we go on from that, let's go to this one. This team was interesting. So once again, this team running the Iron with the Ulmus, which would be a threat, but obviously we can go ahead and clap that. They did have the Arden and the Tasi as well. So I'll show you guys this one. So there goes the Euron. I don't know why we interrupted enemy Tasi on that one. It seems to be timing bugged. I think that would have been a lot harder battle if we interrupted the Euron instead of the Tasi. But it seems like opponents always interrupt my Euron, but I seem to bypass their Euron. I have no idea why, but it's just something that was happening. So, I mean, it is what it is. So there's another one with bursting out the damage. Let's go again. I think we were up to this one here. Yeah, okay, so this is another one with a bit of a Greyborn core. Not like an amazing enemy formation, if I'm being honest. But once again, as soon as we just get that sleep out, followed by Arden, it's just like so much AoE burst, and it's just job done from the very start. Now, you'll see the one that I failed on in a sec, which was not as great. Was that the one we just did? No, this was a D on L one. Okay, so as you can see, Tasi putting out a bunch. And once again, the enemy interrupts my Euron, which leaves Tasi free to go ahead and sleep them. And then it's just GG's from there on in. Like, yes, their enemy Lily May survives for a bit. The Ulma survives for a bit, but it's just so much pressure. And I'm just having an absolute blast with this. And and I know if you're on like a more advanced server, maybe people aren't using that map as much. But dude, it is super satisfying to go ahead and do that. Let's go to this one. Another one where we get the big damage out of our Tasi. So I think this is one of the ones where we don't interrupt the Euron again. Oh no, we do. Okay, we do interrupt the Euron on that one. So that is one we do. But once again, we just churn out the damage. Now, keeping in mind, this doesn't have the charms in effect, so we're not even get the damage amplification that Tasi provides. It's just the straight raw damage that we are churning out. So this one I actually lost because I forgot to change my spell to the immunity one, and they teleported my Arden, and it just sort of set me back. This was always going to be a difficult one. Like I said, the what's his face Viperian ones are always a little bit awkward, but this one just sort of out-sustained us. And if I had have left the Arden at the back and not had him teleported, I think we definitely could have done it, but unfortunately I forgot to change it. So you can see this one with that extra healing on the Viperian, along with the healing from the what's his face, we just didn't get the burst that we needed to in the early succession. Maybe if we had at the back, we still would have ended up losing it. But unfortunately, that was the only one we have lost so far. Because the Viperian is a little bit tricky, but it is what it is. It was just... I'm curious to see if we would have won that one otherwise, but we did go ahead and lose that. Then we go into the next one here. Once again, Tasi chunking out a bunch of damage. Let's hit the replay. So we get the group, we interrupt the Coco, we hit for some reason that time Arden ulted first, and you can see Tasi went second, but it's still like, it just melts the damage, and then they're also controlled. Dude, it is super satisfying. Let's go into the next one, which is this one here, and replay. Once again, this is only Supreme Tasi, not Supreme Plus, so she doesn't have all the extra lives either. Maybe that would have helped me over there, but I don't think Supreme Plus is really necessary for Tasi, especially for free-to-play. I'm just going to wait and try and get her off the other ones. You can see this battle actually took a long time to churn through all the extra sustain and sort of tankiness that they had, but eventually we just overrun them and GG's. So that is a look at what is currently my favorite Tasi formation on this free-to-play account. Once again, I don't think this is going to dominate the higher tiers of Arena when you're dealing with a bunch more Celestials and Hyper Gens that are fully built once you get into Paragon land. But hey, if you went ahead and picked up Tasi and you're a free-to-play player, budget player, something definitely to experiment with. My defense has not been hit in forever, so I can't even show you how defense is working. But yeah, this one on offense, super satisfying. Anyway, that is my look at Tasi in the Arena. Honestly, her best comp at the moment, but unfortunately it is locked to a map. But I'm glad the map's there because it does make it a little bit of fun. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.